my own personal armor, belief, and preparedness, and those are what I call my 4 C's: competence, connections, confidence, and charm. After graduating from AUC in June 1995, I was indeed on a flight to Washington, D.C., July 4th, the U.S. Independence Day, to start my master's and PhD at the University of Maryland, College Park. 6 years later, I joined the International Monetary Fund, an institution which gave me so much. I was the youngest economist to join the IMF. Then, in 2005, I was called by the Central Bank of Egypt to come back and serve, to be able to modernize and introduce the frameworks of monetary policy. And I stayed there for 11 years. I was sub-governor, and these were very transformational years for the country. And then in the summer of 2016, I was re-recruited back to the IMF to serve as an advisor to the chief economist at the time.
دكتورة رانيا عبد المنعم محمد إبراهيم المشاط وزيرا للسياحة.
In Egypt, we launched the Egypt Tourism Reform Program. This was in November 2018. Like other countries in the world, we want to strengthen our competitiveness in tourism and be in line with international standards. The overarching objective in our program is that each Egyptian household have at least one person working in tourism.
This year, we have reached the highest tourism revenues in Egypt's history. Being mindful of what the traveler is looking for in terms of health.
رانيا عبد المنعم محمد إبراهيم المشاط وزيرا للتعاون الدولي.
2020 was not an easy year. Each one of us was challenged in very, very different ways. But I think the ability to cooperate, coordinate was something which showed how agile everybody really is. What we tried to do over this past 18 months is to try and change the mindset around international development cooperation, international development financing through these 3 principles: multi-stakeholder platforms where we all come together to make tangible change. Then we have ODE SDG mapping, and this is extremely important because the only way to have efficient plans towards SDGs is if we know the impact that we have so far. And then finally, creating a clear and transparent communication framework with all our stakeholders. So why is this important for us as a country? If we look within this framework, which is a country-led exercise, we try to maximize socio-economic returns from ODA. We try to ensure the alignment of development interventions from our development partners with the national objectives that we have, and also with the global objectives, which are the SDGs. The Egypt International Cooperation Forum. We are also hosting ministers from Africa, ministers of finance, economy, and environment. Very important topics to be covered with participation from global policy leaders, private sector, governments, as well as representatives from civil society.
The Nuwafi platform, which is the Arabic word of fulfilling pledges, and here being at the COP of implementation, was developed on the back of Egypt's 2050 country climate strategy, as well as the updated nationally determined contributions, the NDCs. Nuwafi integrates a set of high priority projects, not only in mitigation, but also in adaptation.
This has been an inclusive effort. Ministry of International Cooperation has been coordinating the views of different stakeholders, and in the spirit of international cooperation and collaboration, we wanted to be successful.
When we talk about COP, we're talking about financing, we're talking about adaptation, we're talking about mitigation, but most importantly, we're talking about innovation, solutions to be able to push forward as fast as possible the climate agenda.
For me, playing an active role in public policy, serving my country and other countries through my work, is something that I relished and had harbored for many, many years. And as I say, serving Egypt by contributing to policies that would make the riches of the Nile flow to all its citizens, to me is not just a mission, it's a passion.